What's going on, YouTube? This is BBSP. I know I said I'd be on a live stream here this afternoon, but because of circumstances regarding my personal life, I think I'm gonna push that back to tonight. When life gets in the way and kicks your ass, there's not much you can do about it, man. You know what I mean? I'm a kind of a busy person with my hands full and shit. You know what I mean? And like I said before, when everyday life comes at you, you know what I mean? It's like it's not much you can do, man. You just make the best of it with your time and try to make some time whenever you can, But in this particular topic, I want to touch on a particular thing. I'm not big on what ifs, but for my heads that been watching this game for a while since the '80s, late '70s and '80s. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Julius Erving and the 76ers run during the late '70s and into the '80s. Now they made the finals 1977, 1980, 1982, 1983. But it could have easily made the finals in '78 and '79. You know what I mean? Julius Erving was coming off a legendary run in the ABA and just touched down the NBA in like 1976. That 1977 team that won that ran into Bill Walton and the Portland Trailblazers was considered an upset back then. You know what I mean? And yeah, they were the favorites in that particular series. They were also the favorites in the Lakers series in 1980. That Sixers team had a lot of talent, man. You had, of course, Doc. Then you had Daryl Dawkins, George McGinnis, Carwell Jones, Henry Bibby, Doug Collins, Joe Bryant. As you all know, the father of the late great Kobe Bryant and shit, right? 1977, man. 1977 was a year they make an argument that's the most popular, one of the most talented teams in the NBA. Think of course, you got Doc. Of course, you've got Daryl Dawkins, Carwell Jones, Henry Bibby, George McGinnis. 1977 was considered an upset. Bill Walton was a hell of a player. Back then on that standards. That's probably the only year that Bill Walton was on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Before all the injuries and shit. You know, um, let's say 1977. They win the ship. Let's say they don't have to. Win in the 1978, 1979. But I'm talking about the years they went to the finals. 1980, by that time, you started to get more talent in there, like Bobby Jones, Andrew Toney, Maurice Cheeks. Daryl Dawkins was still on that team. 1980 was a pretty close series, man. 1980 was a pretty close series with the Los Angeles Lakers, but as we all know, young Magic Johnson went in there, and dominated six. Game six. Played all five positions, and started to enhance his resume and legendary career, And but let's just say, for the sake of argument, they win that one. The Sixers win that one. That's two championships for Dr. J. Two championships. Let's just say they win in '77 and they win again in 1980. That's two championships for Dr. J. Then let's go to 1982. 1982, of course, in 1981, they lost a very close competitive war with the Boston Celtics with a prime Larry Bird, man. And, that series could have went either way. But the next year, in 1982, they got him again. By that time, you had Andrew Toney, Maurice Cheeks, and, of course, I'm missing somebody. Still had Carwell Jones. Of course, Doc Collins by that time had retired and shit. Daryl Dawkins was on his last legs. That was the year before the Moses Malone came in as the final piece. But let's just say let's leave 1983 alone because we know they won that. Let's in totality, the 76ers win the title in 1977, 1980, 1982, along with 83. That would have had a whole lot of impact in the NBA, man. Especially for certain legacies, man. You take Dr. J, that's 4 NBA championships counting 1983. And then you take you subtract 2 from Kareem. Kareem only has 4 championships. You subtract 2 from Magic. Magic only has 3. A whole lot of legacies would be looked at differently. You know what I mean? Magic, though, was great. Probably would have been still considered a top 10 player of all time. You know what I mean? But I don't think he would have been as revered. And Kareem, I think he still would be in the GOAT conversation, but I think he'd be more closer to 3 and 4 rather than up there, with the scoring titles, becoming an all-time leading scorer, the accolades, the MVPs, and all that stuff, And we look at Doc, suffice to say, it's possible that we could be looking Julius Erving the same way we look at Michael Jordan right now. He could be here, quite possibly considered a top 5 player of all time, even with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird entering the league, and still you had Kareem dominating in some sorts. Dr. J, even though he's still great, he's still considered great, a pioneer of the game and shit. I think he would be more revered. Definitely even more revered, man, because you think Moses Malone won Finals MVP in 1983, right? By that time, Julius was declining and past his prime. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, he wins Finals MVP those 3 times. Okay, he wins Finals MVP and shit. With those 3 Finals MVPs and four championships, you know what? I really think he'd be considered a top 5 player of all time. Because he already had the resume and shit, right? He definitely had the resume. Add into the fact that he had 1 regular season MVP, 3 Finals MVPs, and 4 championships. Add to the fact that Kareem would only have 4 championships, Magic Johnson would only have 3. A whole lot of legacies and resumes would be altered, man. Definitely altered. But let me know what y'all think about that shit. Like I said, later on, when I get back, I'm gonna go ahead and launch this live stream, my first live stream. I'm trying to have some guests. We talk about some different shit. You know what I mean? But let me know what y'all think and shit.